Hey, my name is Jim. I gotta adjust my seat here. My name is Jim, okay? And this is like, I'm gonna grab my water. My name is Jim. I'm so excited. And I'm with God's 411. I'm the creator. And we do a lot of live Facebook stuff, but typically um, we don't do any YouTube. And I'm thinking, we really should start doing YouTube. And I was kind of looking into it. And I was kind of thinking, well, you got to be like on the computer and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know about it, because I really want to be on the desktop and stuff like that. But then, duh, I mean, you can do it on your phone, which is like totally cool. So, anyways, we're just kind of getting started on YouTube. We've been there for quite a while. We haven't really active. And then all of a sudden, we started doing a lot of really cool videos and some really neat stuff is going on with Kim and I. So, usually, what I did is like on Facebook, um, I would get on Facebook and kind of, I mean, our site is God's 411, so obviously, it would be a Christian site or a religious site, hence the name God's 411. So usually what I would do is um, I had a brain fart. So usually what I would do is I would get on Facebook and I would kind of like whatever God is kind of telling me to do or the wherever God's kind of leading. If I'm going through something really tough, I'm going through a story, what happens, I would share that with everybody. So as I was reading through the Bible in Genesis, and I was working my way through the Bible, I don't know if you've seen, we do some of those videos that are really cool um, that have, uh, that has some really neat music and some pictures mixed with it, and we'll take videos and things like that. So that's what we're doing. So I was reading through Genesis, and I believe that we forget that nothing is impossible for God. I think that we limit our miracles. We limit God working in our life because um, we just don't think He can do it. I mean, we just don't. I think that we forget um, that God can do the impossible. Um, does that make sense? Um, I know in my life, um, I mean, this is the same God who like breathes stars. I mean, he can just, I mean, it just the planets and the stars and everything in his life. He could do everything. But I think that we forget God. I mean, this is, and I just hard to say, this is the God of the universe that you are speaking to. So I got to tell you this really neat story. Okay, let me grab a drink. So this story is from Genesis, and I was reading this, and I'll read it to you. Okay, so this is in Genesis um, 18. So I'm sure y'all know about Sarai and Abram, who later was Sarah and Abram, right? Sarah was really old, couldn't get pregnant. Probably, I mean, the Bible doesn't say it, but probably she was menopause, right? So she couldn't have children. Her womb, as they say, was closed out. But God made this promise to both of them that they were going to have a son. I mean, if you remember the story, like Hagar was given to Sarai, or Hagar was given to Abram by Sarai because they wanted to have kids, because they really didn't trust that God was going to come through and give them a kid. So Sarai, God said, you're going to have a kid, but she's past her years. She's not going to have kids. I mean, she's way past her years, right? So if you pick up the story in chapter 18, okay, so the three men come to um, Abraham, and they're talking to him. And so, they're saying, and one of them is God, of course. And they said, where is Sarah, your wife? And she said, she's in the tent. The Lord said, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, shall have a son. And Sarah was listening at the tent door behind them. Now, Abraham and Sarah were old. I mean, they were old and advanced in years. The ways of the woman had ceased to be with Sarah. So, she was in past menopause, childbearing years. Done, over with, bam, right? Now this is the kicker. So Sarah laughed to herself, saying, after I am worn out and my Lord is old, so Abraham's old, right? Shall I have the pleasure of actually having a child? The Lord said to Abraham, now they're not even together, right? So Abraham God said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh? The next verse, why did Sarah laugh and say, shall I indeed bear a child now that that I am old? And God said, is anything too hard for the Lord? Now you see that just right there, that's it. Is I think, and hopefully this is just the message that God was just giving to me today. And I think that we in today's culture and living in the United States, and I think in the third world countries, they are seeing God move much more dramatically. But I think that we live in the United States, we forget that this is God. I mean, we forget this is God. Breeze stars. I mean, if you read the Bible, you read all this just amazing stuff. Hello, how you doing? Someone checked in. We're just kind of getting new here, so I know there's a lot of people, but hey, thanks for checking in. I think that we forget that this is the God of the universe and that there is nothing too hard for him. And I believe that we limit our blessings, the miracles, and God working in our life because we say, hey, I want this to happen. I need this. My friend is sick, cancer, finances. I mean, everything's, people are struggling with finances. There's sicknesses, relationship problems. And we just sit there and we say, we forget that he's God. And we just say, it's too hard for him, or there's no way that, God could do this. But God right there, that is what I want you to remember, okay, out of this, the whole thing, what I'm saying today. Is there anything that is too hard for God? So, Sarah was physically unable to have children. Physically, she was menopause, she was done, but God promised that they would have a son. And of course, if you know the story in the Bible, they did. They were pregnant, they had a son, and God came through for them. So, anyways, we're just starting going on these live things. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll come back more and more with these. Typically, I do them like every day, or just kind of when God's kind of like leading me or whatever. But I hope that encouraged you guys. Check out our channel. We got a lot of cool videos. Kim and I just kind of like to go on there and just kind of be ourselves and have fun. So anyways, I hope that guys encouraged you. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have absolutely no idea, since this is my first live show, how to turn this thing off, okay? So this is going to look really dumb of me trying to turn this off, okay? So I'm sorry. How you doing? Okay, I'm going to try to turn this off, okay? I have no idea. Hey, Flawless, how you doing? That is it. Okay, so I think I'm done. I'm going to push the X button and hope I can do it. Again, sign in again. We'll be doing more, okay? Bye, guys. I'm going to try to turn this off. It didn't work. Oh, there it goes.